People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can.
You should be able to.
You just can.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's nothing sacred.
Well, that's
really.
the point. There's nothing sacred.
In today's outrage culture, where people are quick to cancel anything that offends their fragile sensibilities, Ricky Gervais steps up as the voice of reason. With his unapologetic wit, he shreds through the absurdity of woke ideals, reminding us that no subject should be off limits in comedy. He exposes the hypocrisy of those who claim offense, while missing the real point entirely.
Depends what the joke is. Comedy comes from a good or a bad place. It's contextual. It's like this big debate about swearing. Is swearing okay on television? It depends. Use your common sense and your remote control. Don't write a letter.
Ricky smashes through the barriers woke culture tries to build. While others apologize for offending, he doesn't flinch. He's right. Comedy is about making people laugh, not walking on eggshells. Woke crowds want every joke to be a safe, sanitized comment, but Ricky says no to that, pushing the limits instead of bending to feelings. Real humor challenges, stirs the pot, and breaks the mold. That's the kind of comedy that sticks. Bold, fearless, and unapologetic.
Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs. Oh. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as gold. I love them. No, it's the old-fashioned. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You fucking turf whore.
Ricky's not just dipping his toes in the gender debate, he's cannonballing in without hesitation. And let's be real, he's exposing the absurdity that woke culture tries to shove down everyone's throats. It's like trying to jam a square peg into a round hole while shouting bigot at anyone who dares question it. Newsflash, just because you scream louder doesn't make it true. Ricky's humor is brutal, unapologetic, and refreshingly honest. He's not here to sugarcoat the ridiculousness. The truth? Yeah, it stings sometimes, but in Ricky's world, that sting is just the setup for a punchline that hits hard.
Let's have a look at Ricky Gervais.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
Oh, the wonderful world of influencers. Ricky Gervais plays the role of an influencer with just the right blend of satirical sharpness, slicing through the facade like a hot knife through butter. Can you imagine? Being lectured on political allegiance by someone whose career highlight involves advertising miracle creams and juice cleanses. Yes, in today's topsy-turvy culture, an influencer's follower count somehow grants them the status of moral philosopher. Yet, Ricky hilariously exposes this absurdity, reminding us that just because someone threatens to leave their luxurious bubble doesn't mean they're taking reason with them.
As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happens, so. And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offense. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So, It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had. Became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying, she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlete. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But like years ago, when, you know, she was a man.
The tangled web of woke culture, where companies flaunt virtue on one hand and exploit labor on the other. It's a spectacle worthy of its own stage, where words speak louder than actions. Enter Ricky, with his sharp wit and fearless humor, dissecting the hypocrisy that the woke brigade often overlooks. It's like he's got a spotlight, and suddenly all the smoke and mirrors vanish, revealing the messy truth underneath. While the woke crowd clamors for offense, Ricky's steady hand guides us through the noise, reminding us there's more than meets the eye.
Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, fifth time. So, we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. No. It was mostly white people. And I thought, nah, not on my watch. So, maybe next year. Let's Let's see what happens.
Ricky has an undeniable talent for satirizing the relentless fervor of woke culture, transforming its obsessions into humor that lands with the impact of a sledgehammer. While diversity unquestionably holds value, pushing its agenda to absurd extremes, like demanding equality even in death, veers into the realm of the ridiculous. Ricky's comedic genius serves as a wake-up call, a brisk gust of reality reminding us that not every facet of life necessitates ticking diversity boxes. And sometimes, the beauty lies in appreciating humor for its own sake, without reading too much into it.
You call me Bobo, so I'm going to have species realignment. I'm halfway there, to be honest. I'm sort of short with short legs and long arms. I sort of stoop like that. My back's getting hairier by the day. I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once I was at the zoo and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So I am a chimp, right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So...
And finally, Ricky dives headfirst into the realm of identity politics, taking it to its most ludicrous extreme. Species realignment. It's both bizarre and hilarious, serving as a satirical spotlight on the absurdities of woke culture. If self-identification knows no bounds, why stop at being human? Ricky uses comedy as a tool to expose the laughable side of today's societal debates. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and like for more content on Woke Watch. Take care.